Hi, I'm Naya Calmels. Welcome to Mindful Movement. I believe that movement is medicine. And today I want to keep you moving with video 3 of our 5-part series working on seated exercises in the chair. Today we're focusing on knees and feet. So let's begin. Pull up a chair. Now that you've found your chair, go ahead and lengthen through your seat, making sure you're grounding down through the sits bones and reaching long through the spine. We're going to start with the hips, work down to the knees, and then to the ankles and feet. Remember, the reason that we're working the hips is because they're very intimately connected with the knees. So for proper knee health, we also have to have proper hip health. If you have a looped band, you'll want to put that to use now by putting it around your ankles. You'll take your feet back to about hip distance to sits bone distance apart. And then you'll start by drawing the leg open while you keep your pelvis straight forward in front of you. So you're using your core muscles to keep the pelvis and everything above it nice and steady as the leg moves. The foot's going to slide along the floor as you open the leg and then draw back to your starting position. We'll continue here for 5 more and then we'll switch to the other leg. This is probably a good time for me to point out that you don't want to have anything in your way when you're switching to the other leg. So for this exercise, you are going to need a little bit of room around the base of your chair. We'll do 1 more here and then switch to the other side. Move this stuff out of the way and begin on this side. Stay long through the spine as you work on abduction and adduction of the leg, which is just a fancy way of saying taking the leg away from midline and drawing it back in again. If you're doing these in the middle of your Zoom meeting or while you're watching TV, you'll get a whole lot of work going on in your hips, helping keep your knees and everything below your hips a lot more healthy. So see if you can integrate this into your day. We'll do 1 more here, and then we'll go on to our knee exercises. Go ahead and take the band off, and then we'll start with really basic, just straightening the leg and drawing the leg back down again. So for those of you who are very active, doing something like this, especially if you've never had any knee issues, probably feels really easy. You can do it with a pointed toe, or you can do it with a flexed foot. For those of you who already have knee issues, you know that sometimes just getting this full extension can be really challenging. So be careful, but also try to work the range of motion little by little so that you're not continually keeping your knee in flexion, or bent knee. Let's switch to the other side. So a lot of the stuff that I'm going over today doesn't take a whole lot of thought, especially if it becomes part of a regular practice. And you can multitask doing other things in your seated position while you're working the lower body. We're going to switch back to the other leg. And this time we're going to straighten the leg into extension. And then we're going to externally rotate the leg. We're externally rotating to turn on the VMO, which is one of the muscles that helps support the knee joint, specifically letting the knee track properly. From here, really maintain that long spine. You're going to be using your lower abs as well here as you lift the leg and lower back to your start. Notice it's a really small movement. What often will happen is if you don't really use your lower abs, you'll start to hinge back and start rocking back in your chair. So use your abs to help stabilize the upper body as you lift the leg. And with each lift, you're focusing on using your VMO. Keeping an external rotation, 1 more on this side, and then we'll switch to the other side. Externally rotating. And for this one, I like to do pointed toes. You might play around with your foot position. It's always good to mix things up a little bit as long as it feels safe in your body. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then we're going to go back to the other leg, and we're just going to do ankle rolls. So nice, easy rolls, making circles. And try to let the toes move too. So get as much movement through the toes as you can, moving the muscles through the sole of the foot. And then switch to the other side. And you might do 5 to 10 of these in each direction before going to the other leg. So let's switch to the other leg and start our circles. We generally tend to circle in our dominant direction, so it might be a little bit more challenging to go the other way, even if it's just up here where it's challenging. And switch the directions with your circles. So everything that we just did takes less than 5 minutes, and you can incorporate it into your daily routine from a seated position. You can do this while you're eating dinner. Last one. And bring your foot to the floor. We'll close out together. So ground down through the sits bones, lengthen through the spine. Imagine the string from the crown of the head drawing you up towards the sky. On your next inhale, sweep arms up overhead. And on the exhale, bring palms together and to heart center. Thank you so much for joining me for Mindful Movement. I hope that you move mindfully throughout the rest of your day.